Hey, how's it going? My name is Gator Graves, and today in this video we're going to learn a little more about Vtube Studio and about things that you may or may not know about Vtube Studio. As always, please like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. It does help. And definitely also leave a comment if you have any questions or if you'd like to have me do a video on anything else. Also check out my Twitch streams. I am an avid Monster Hunter player with a little bit of variety and a little bit of souls. So hopefully you guys can come check out the Twitch stream. I stream there on Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday at 2 p.m. CST unless otherwise stated in my schedule. You can find my schedules on my Twitter or in my Discord, which are linked below. So how does Vtube Studio work? We know a lot of people always have Vtube Studio and they get their models rigged and they're super excited and they play around with them, but a lot of times people don't actually know how it works. So we're gonna go and we're gonna look at some of these settings and some of these things and figure out how does it actually work. Oh yeah, so that little angry thing there is actually triggered from a facial expression, and normally those are expressions that get mapped to hotkeys. But we'll go into that in a little bit. So let's take a look. We're gonna double click here. We're gonna go to our settings and we're gonna go to the little person with the gear icon right up here. We'll get all of these options here. We have our model. You can set an idle animation, which is pretty cool. You can do auto setup for your iPhone or webcam, fix white outlines. You have some movement configuration things you can do, but we're not going to really talk about that today, and we're not going to talk about the physics settings today. What we're going to talk about is something that I find can be pretty useful, especially if you're a VTuber who does a lot of intense gaming, kind of like I do with Monster Hunter, but you still want to be expressive. So as you see here, most of the time when you get your model back for Vtube Studio or after you rig it yourself, which I guess after you rig it yourself, you might already know this kind of stuff. You have your input and your output. Your input has all these different things here, like face position, XYZ, face angle, XYZ, mouth smile, mouth open, brows, tongue out, eye open left, eye open right. All these things, they're the same anytime you do input. And your output is, those are the things that the person who rigs your model, whether it be you or somebody else, the output is all the parameters that are set in Live 2D. So as you can see, I have a bunch of parameters here. Some of them are red, but like I have all these parameters here that are linked to things. Unfortunately, a lot of mine are just numbered. So I've had to kind of go and guess what some of them can do. And when you set your input, that's going to be what the webcam, or if you use your phone, what your phone camera is going to pick up and put into a value here. As you can see, my face angle X right now is kind of hovering between -1 and 0. Let's say I turn left, it goes to -23. If I turn right, it goes to 34. So you know, it gets a value here from the input, and then it translates it to an output, and the output is my head moving. So that's kind of how the inputs and outputs work. But what does that mean for us? When you have expressions, I'm going to go through some of my expression hotkeys right now. So my expression hotkeys are as such. I have angry, I have blush, I have cry. As you notice here, my eyes get a little tear thing and my brows raise a little bit. I have scared, which has this cool little effect. I have silly, which also raises my eyebrows and changes my eyes and makes my other eyes invisible. And then I have glasses. Now those are all linked to hotkeys, but what if you could trigger those with the inputs here? Guess what? You can. Because your input, because those expressions that are linked to hotkeys had to be rigged on parameters. Some of those expressions utilize multiple parameters and set them to something so that you can have an expression. Like I could have it so that if I turn my head to the right, it could trigger a scared face. Some of the ones that I've actually made myself right here is before I moved my brows up and down, they didn't really move very much. They moved a little bit. But now I've actually adjusted my brows so that I can actually move my brows a lot more, and it makes me very expressive. What I have is the input is my brows, so my phone camera will look at my brows and determine the value of them and then translate them over to here. I have limited the range because I don't want it to go too crazy, and I noticed, at least with how my parameter was, when they got too low, it was still raising them anyway. That's just sort of how it was mapped for this. So I had to refine it a little bit. We'll go over an example where we actually make a sort of expression or part of an expression toggle from an input. We'll do an example for that. I'm just showing off what I have right now. Right here I have smile blush. So when I smile, I get a little blush. The output, which is parameter 72, I've modified a little bit so that it doesn't do a full-on blush. So one's the max, but I have it go to 0.9, and the minimum I have it go to 0.5. When I smile, like that, I have it set so that the minimum at which the smile will happen is 1, and the maximum is 1.2. So I have to like really smile. Even then, like, it doesn't like fully go all the way. I did this on purpose because I didn't want it to be like a full-on blush. I just wanted it to be like a little. When you're mapping expressions or part of an expression to an input, you're gonna want to look at this number that I'm circling around a lot, because that's going to help you determine the numbers that you're going to have at the maximum and the minimum. So we have my lower brows angry, and you may notice the maximum is actually lower than the minimum. There's a reason for this, because right here, the way the brows are tracked, the higher your brows go, the higher the number goes, and the lower your brows go, the lower the number goes. So what I wanted is I wanted it to have a range where it specifically will go off when my brows are lower. So that's why the maximum is a lower number than the minimum on there. When my brows get to 0.25, that's when it'll start activating and get a little more angry. The best way to go about this, and we'll talk about it a little bit when we make our example, is that you want to ask yourself, what do you want your model to do when you make like a certain face? So I was like, I want my model to look angry when my face in real life looks angry. So you make your face look angry in real life, and then you look at these numbers on the input. And that's how you start determining what the maximum and the minimum are going to be. So let's do an example right now of making a part of an expression tracked by our face. What we're going to do is we're going to have our input be face angle Y. And then we're going to have that take the parameter, which will be 71 in this case. What you'll notice is my scared face. So I'm going to put the smoothing all the way down because I don't necessarily want it to be smooth. I want it to proc a certain way. What we're going to have is we want our scared face to happen when we go down on either side right here. So how's that going to work? Well, we're going to look at our input and we're going to see where is our face when we're scared. Well, our input minimum, first off, is going to be -16. And then our input maximum is going to be -21. And you might be like, well, what does that mean? Well, that means when we go down, we'll have a scared face. We're going to limit the ranges here. We don't want it to like proc early. We don't want it to show up early. We want it to only show up within this range. So as you can see, I'm going to put my head down here. And as my head is down, you'll see the input here, -21, will correspond with the output, which is 1 max, which is, you know, that's what it looks like when my head is all the way down and I get the scared face. Does it on this side too, because it's the face angle Y. it also does it like this. It's mostly when my head is down. As you can see, we now have our scared expression tied to our face angle. That's pretty cool. And you can do this with, and you know, depending on how your model's set up and depending on how your parameters are named, it might be a little easier. Like the way mine was done, it's not super easy. I had to do a lot of trial and error. You can actually map your expressions to different aspects of what your IRL face looks like and how it's being tracked. And if you are somebody who has like big expressions when you're gaming, this can really help you, like a lot. This can help you have more accurate like facial expressions while gaming, so that people can be like, oh, you know, like something really cool happens in games, you're like, hog. Or you can have something really scary happen, like or you can have it, you know, track when it's up here like this. Or, you know, you're playing like Valorant, which, you know, heaven forbid you're playing Valorant, and then it's like, I'm angry, you know, instead of having to like push the button for your angry expression. I think what I'm going to talk about next week, I'm going to talk about StreamerBot, which is something that I've been trying to tell a lot of my friends to use because it's really, really good. StreamerBot can really up the production value of your stream, and it can actually get you to do some really cool stuff. I've touched about it in some previous videos, so go check them out in the playlist that I have, which is a playlist on, like, you know, some simple streamer tips. Again, if you really like this video, please consider liking and subscribing. Please check out my Twitch streams. I play a lot of Monster Hunter. I'm also very good at Monster Hunter. I am better than a majority of people who play Monster Hunter. I know that kind of says a lot. I mean, I've had a lot of people be like, wow, he's really freaking good at Monster Hunter. So, you know, check it out. I play a lot of Monster Hunter. I play some variety games. Join the Discord. That's where you'll find my schedules. My Twitter also has my schedules if you don't want to join my Discord, so you can follow me there. All of it will be linked in the description below. I will see you on the next video.